So it's 2020. I'm in quarantine again, and like a lot of people right now, I'm I'm very fucking bored. Well, I learned how to code. All right. I actually always wanted to make a game, and because I'm a model student, I ignored all of the emails of my teachers and started learning how to make my very first game. Because I'm so very fucking organized, I created a Trello list that I've never looked at ever again. But I put everything into 3 steps because I like free. What the fuck did I write? Okay, first step, the learning stage. At first I had to figure out how to actually make a game, so I knew what I had to learn, and I started informing myself about game development and found out that, and I quote, developers use game engines to construct games for consoles, mobile devices, and personal computers. So that sounded nice, and I got an engine, and I may have picked the first one I've seen, and that was free, but yeah, I picked Unity, alright? I picked Unity. And after I watched some Brecky's videos, I made my first playable game with Unity that I'm actually quite proud of. It's a block that slides around and evades other blocks. It's very simple, alright? But I added a random mode and I'm proud of that, alright? I'm proud. Oh fuck. After all of that, I could basically start making my first game, but I did not really know what I wanted to do. So I started brainstorming by myself and came up with a game. So the plan was following. You had a base in the middle, you could answer simple yes or no questions, and that would influence like your resources, and they would change after every answer. And then your territory expands and you can build something that would change these values as well. So yeah, that's it. With that plan in mind, I started coding, and everything went well. Everything was alright. I had my camera set up. I had these questions that I wrote in a horrible if statement, and I had these yes or no buttons, which would then influence your resources. Until I got to the territory expansion. I wanted it to give you like a chunk every time you answered a question, and I wanted it to go unlimited. So it would start with a 3x3 rectangle shape and then grow out next time 5x5 and then 7x7 and so on. And I just could not get it to work. I got this strange star shapes and everything, but not a fucking rectangle. But after like 3 days and 20 energies later, I somehow got it set up with a for loop. I don't know what this is. You can look at it, but seriously, I don't know, man. Basically, after this, everything went pretty well. I had the basic game already done, but for whatever reason, I thought it would be very smart to make a 3D game. I needed models for my game, obviously, and I needed to learn how to 3D model. And yeah, that's the next step. Step number 2. Modeling. Modeling? Learning how to model, alright? I looked around at YouTube and came across this software called Blender, which is free, and you can make 3D shapes with it or whatever. So I started by installing this, and I watched some YouTube tutorials, and after a while I made a very basic tent. After all of that, the second month started of me learning how to make a game, and I finally knew what kind of resources I want to influence, and there was money, building resources like stone, wood, food, and population. So I basically started by just painting these things, and I wanted the UI to be pixel art like, not because I know how to pixel art, it's just because I can't afford Photoshop, so that was the only thing that I could do. So then the next few weeks I've spent with just painting the UI for the buttons, the text bubble, and yeah, all of the pixel art UI basically, as well as the menu, which was very easy to make because I'm not switching scenes, I'm just activating and deactivating game objects. I think that's very bad performance wise, but it was the easiest thing to do. After the pixel art, I just needed to make the 3D models, the buildings basically. And I started with the farm. I just wanted like a little plot of farmland, so I picked 4 cylinders, cut them in half and rotated them, and I had my farmland. Next up was the very basic housing, which was just a tent, 2 rectangles, rotated them a little, and that's it as well. And for the resources I wanted like a lumberjack thing, and I made a lumberjack thing. I'm actually very proud of the axe that is sticking in this stump of a tree. I think it's cool, alright. After I got that done, I for some reason wanted to make upgrades for this. I don't know why, seriously, but yeah, apparently I wanted to model more, so I created a shop in which you could use resources that you would gain from playing the game to constantly upgrade a building, which would give you then more resources in the long run. And yeah, so I had to model again some buildings. I actually made like 5 different variants of each building, so that took me some time. It was just, the first ones were quite easy though, like for instance the farm, I just put a broken fence around it, so that's not really a big deal. But after a while it got more and more complex, and I wanted to make a greenhouse apparently, so I made that, and it was just very hard actually. I think I've spent the most time on this one. It's been like another month. I was in the middle of month 3 and I did not know how long quarantine was still going on, and I wanted to get this game out. I really wanted to finish a game during quarantine, and yeah, so I stressed myself out a little. I started working on an enemy system next, because I figured it would make sense at the time. And yeah, I apparently made a mistake that a lot of people do. It's not really thinking about your game too much, just having a basic idea and then adding and adding more and more things as you go on. And yes, that's not a really smart thing to do, because it's just, I started putting so much stupid things in there. Seriously, I wanted it to be small, and then I started making it bigger and bigger for some reason, and yeah, oh boy, the enemy system did not work well. I also created a button with which you could spawn soldiers, which would fight for you, but this didn't really work, and the pathfinding was just broken, so I deleted the collision of the buildings, and oh god, no, this was not great, man. But after I fixed some of the mayor bugs, I was ready. I felt like I was ready to release this game, and I went into Google Play Console, or what it's called, and I bought this $20 thing to be able to publish games. And yeah, that leads us to our third and last step, publishing, which was such a pain. Oh my god. I made this game like half a year ago, so I can't really say anymore what the problem was, but I still know that I had to build this game at least 30 times and always had to change little things, because whenever I tried to hit this publish button, Google told me that something was missing or not working, and so I had to build it very often and put it on my phone very often. And so when I hit that publish button and Google did not tell me that something was wrong, I was filled with so much happiness. It was amazing, really. So long story short, after all of the excitement that came from releasing my first game, like 2 weeks later, I played the game for real for the very first time. And let me tell you, it's horrible. It's fucking dog shit. It's such a bad and boring and buggy game. Seriously, it's just really bad. You can download it if you want. I'll put the link down in the description, but I really recommend you not doing so. I just wanted to share the experience and show you guys that no matter how hard you try, your first game, your first piece of art or whatever it is, will probably not be good, okay? I think I'll put this game down in a few weeks, months, whatever. And yeah,